we are not a sporting country. We are not a sporting society. If you think back, does any family, if you look at the family activity, what do families indulge as a family activity? They would perhaps go out and eat at a restaurant, or they would go to a temple together, or they would go watch a movie together, or they will go and shop together. We rarely see an entire family playing sport together. Have you ever seen a mother, father, and two young children actually playing sport? This is not part of our society. Sports is really not part of our society. And our educational system, which is based on this exam, tuition, and homework, is the greatest impediment for the growth of sport in this country. I have very few concrete suggestions, which I hope the government will take into account. First, there should be no school, whether private or public, or government school, which can function legally without having a sports ground of its own. That is the first step. We must give access to playing fields. There are so many schools in this country which are in building blocks without playing fields. Second, physical education teacher is compulsory in every school, and he must be given the respect the maths teacher gets. He must be given the respect that the chemistry teacher gets. In most schools, the physical education teacher is only used to catch late-coming students or to punish students who are in detention. There is no respect for physical education teachers. First step is to start the society, the educational system must start respecting the physical education teachers. Third, see, as we are an exam-oriented society, the only way to make sure that sports is compulsory is to say that if you do not meet certain physical criteria, if you can't run a mile in, say, 8 minutes or in 6 minutes, you can't write your board exam. And if you have to write a board exam and you have to pass the 10th standard board exam or a 12th standard board exam, you must have compulsory physical education as part of a subject. And if you do not meet that physical condition, you cannot write the board exam. Until you make it compulsory, in this country, no mother will send their daughters to play. First of all, they will say, you'll get dark, so don't go play sports. That is again another cultural thing. You'll get dark. That's why most children are overweight, because they do not play sports and they are caught into this vortex of exam, homework, and tuition. And the only way is unless you make sports compulsory and a certain sporting standard you have to be met in order to pass the board, to write the board exam, people will never take it seriously. Madam, I want to tell you something else. Please don't build large stadiums. Building of large stadiums is the biggest waste of money. We hardly use stadiums. If you do a proper audit and you check how many times a stadium is used where it is full capacity, you will realize it is used very, very minimally. Please do not build stadiums in this country. Please build smaller stadiums which can be dismantled after a sporting event and moved elsewhere. We do not need large stadiums in this country. And please, let us also make sure that the existing big stadiums are converted into training centers and sports hostels. The government must conclude an audit of all large stadiums and submit a report to this August House. Madam, another thing is, please start hiring sportsmen in the government institutions. Sports recruitment is very, very low. Most sportsmen don't become IPL players and do not get endorsements. They have their playing career and their playing career ends and there is no social security for them. Please start hiring sportsmen in all government institutions. But don't tie them up to desks. Allow them, hire them in sports quota and encourage them to travel throughout the country trying to spot talent. In fact, even CSR budgets of companies must be encouraged to hire sportsmen, but they must not be given desk jobs. They must be told to travel to the districts to spot talent and to bring those talent forward. Madam, the main problem is we don't have access to playing fields. That is where our resources must be spent. We should not be spending on stadiums, and we should be spending money on coaches who can go and spot talent. And we also need to encourage international coaches to come to India, pay them market salary, so they will find it viable to come and work in India. It is very, very important to have the new technologies which are available in sport and to bring them here. Madam, 2 more minutes. Please give cash incentives to sportsmen based on their rankings. Let there be no arbitrariness in this. Most sports have international ranking. If you achieve a certain ranking, let the government give a certain incentive at the end of the year. In tennis or most international sports have that clear thing. So we have to think out of the box. We have to break this vortex of exam, tuition and homework, start giving respect to physical education teachers, insist on playing fields and stop building these big stadiums. And one last thing I'll say. Please, in your ego, don't bid for the Olympics. It will bankrupt the country and it is not going to do anything. In your ego, please do not bid for the Olympics. Thank you very much.
बहुत अच्छा. हाँ, श्रीमती जसकौर मीना जी.